What it is, what it do, cyber world. It's your girl, Ash Brown, and this is the Ash Said It Show. I appreciate all of the love and support. Over 1,900 episodes, 500,000 streams. You guys just keep on loving on me. So I got some people that I want to share that love to. And I have founder and CEO with me today of the HBCU Dolls, the wonderful Brooke Jones. Hey, Brooke.
Hello, how you doing?
I am great, Brooke. How are you today?
I am very well. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us. So, Brooke, I mean, your invention just captivated me. When I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I needed as a kid.
Thank you.
So, where did the idea for the HBCU dolls come from?
So during the pandemic, I wanted to send a birthday gift to my friend's daughter. She's also a graduate of Hampton University. Mm-hmm. And I said, a Hampton doll will be very fun for her, a nice gift. So in my mind, I had seen it before. And so I go to, the number one place when you're looking for something. I went to Google and started looking for Hampton cheerleader dolls and could not find them. And I was like, wait a minute. And so I was like, well, maybe I'm thinking of just, generic HBCU dolls. Mm-hmm. Started searching, could not find them. And a light bulb went off. And it was, timing, everything happens in divine time. Mm-hmm. I was furloughed. It was during the pandemic. Mm-hmm. It was one of the first times that, one of the only times that I've had actual time on my hands to actually put wheels in motion. I'm an idea person. I come up with tons of ideas all the time, but rarely have the time to actually, act on them. And so I had the time. And I do have to preface and say, not only am I an HBCU alum, a proud HBCU alum, I'm also a lifelong doll lover. I've never been a serious collector. I don't want to offend the collector community because there are some very diehard collectors out there. But I have always had an affinity to dolls, my mother and I. And I'm a former toy buyer as well. So, all those kind of that background put together and the timing kind of led me not only to have the idea, but to start to put wheels in motion to start the brand.
Yes. Wow, that is incredible. So starting from there, so you've got this idea about making these dolls, but you're not just talking about, just a doll that you can just pick up and buy off of a shelf somewhere. These dolls are custom, like from their features to their skin tones to their hair and everything. These dolls are custom and beautiful. But what was the first challenge that you faced as you decided to embark on this venture?
So I started doing this during the pandemic, and I don't know if you remember, but resources were very tight during that time. Aside from the household needs that were starting to become kind of scarce, just kind of finding things that you needed was tough. Shipping costs had gotten exorbitant during that time. So I was doing it on my own for a few months, and I was starting because I was handcrafting them. I was buying dolls wholesale. I was finding the uniforms wholesale, and then I was personalizing them. And then I was looking, I was buying packaging from one place, and they did not look anything like they look today. It was very much a raw version. Right. It was getting tough to find the materials I needed to keep going. My demand was starting to outpace the supply. And so that was kind of the first challenge. And luckily, after close to a year, I was approached by Dee Dee Wright Ward of Purpose Toys. She's the founder of a Black-owned toy startup company that wants to support and provide resources to founders of color. And she reached out to me and said, hey, I love what you're doing. Do you need any help? I see, I really would like to help you scale the business, and partnered with her. And that's how we ended up in retail stores.
Wow. So if we're talking about the business today, we're in 2024. What has been your proudest moment with your brand?
When I see people talking about the Pant brand, real, normal, hardworking, day-to-day people talking about it, I witness it, and them not even knowing that it's something that I started.
Right.
That always takes me aback. Because I have my friends and family who support me and go out and buy them just because, they love me. And that's wonderful. And trust me, I appreciate that too. But it's always something when genuine, appreciation or affinity for it. And they have no idea I'm affiliated. I was actually on Christmas Day. I was at my mother-in-law's house, who lives 3 hours away from where I live. She lives in like a duplex, and so she shares a carport with another family that she doesn't know that well. So she's never had a conversation with them about the dolls. And I witnessed them a little girl walk into their apartment with the doll in hand.
Wow.
And so that just, because, day to day when you're just working, putting out fires, doing what you need to do, you kind of forget, you sometimes don't put things in perspective. And then I was like, oh wow, this is a thing. And then another really proud moment for me, and it's gonna sound because I've been blessed to be in a lot of like major national publications, which still blow my mind. I don't think I've really even processed that. But being in the Dallas Morning News, growing up in Dallas, and my late mother was fanatic about the newspaper. Like, she was serious about the newspaper, loved the newspaper. The newspaper was always around growing up. And so to be in the Dallas Morning News, really, that was probably, that was more special to me than being in Essence and USA Today.
Yes. Wow.
Even though it's a local newspaper, just because of what that paper has meant to my family all my life. That was really special to me.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge. Like, when you get recognized by your hometown, it sends a different shockwave. So I absolutely identify with you. I absolutely get that. Now, Brooke, we were talking earlier, before we started and everything, and we were talking about retailers and things of that nature. And one retailer I was talking about, I was like, okay, sis got it on lock and key. All right. Target. You are at Target. The dolls are available at Target. How was that connection? How was that connection made? That's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Again, the resources that Purpose Toys has was able to, walk me into these wonderful retailers and have those conversations. And they're a huge supporter of the brand. And so, we've been lucky to be now, it's been a year and a half. So the toy industry is really about from September to January 1st is the toy season, with it culminating at Christmas time, fourth quarter. So we've been in there for 2 seasons, and they've been a huge supporter of our other retailers as well. But Target, as amazing as they are, as bougie as you say they are probably the most, the biggest supporter of Black-owned founders and brands. They really champion Black brands. And, they've just been a huge supporter, and we truly, truly appreciate the support that they give us.
Yes. Wow, like I said, that alone, I mean, all the different accolades that you all have received are just incredible, and I am so happy
Yes.
for you and your team for being able to continue to push forward, because I'm sure you know, being a business owner, it's a lot. It's you know, you got to take the good with the
It's
bad.
a lot,
Yeah.
and I do have to say, things that transpired 2020 kind of encouraged a lot of retailers to support Black brands more and kind of open up those doors a little easier for us to get on shelves.
Yeah.
Which have been great.
Yes,
but
definitely.
I'm not going to say it's easy, but I would say getting on the shelf is staying on that shelf can be harder than getting on there.
Yeah.
Because you still have to. You're a small startup company on the shelf. They get you on the shelf, but you're still competing with people who have these large marketing and advertising budgets.
Yeah.
So, staying on the shelf can be harder than getting there. Because, okay, you get there, but you're still competing with the numbers of a Barbie or a Mattel. You're still competing with Hasbro and Mattel and Disney. So, getting there was great, a huge accomplishment, not downplaying that, because we are certainly grateful. And everybody does not have that opportunity, but staying on the shelf is our current challenge.
Yeah, definitely. I could see that. So, what is the next, or what do you feel, if we can talk about that? What is the next chapter of the HBCU Dolls?
So continuing growth, we'd like to continue store growth and continuing to reach our target market, because like I said, we've had 2 seasons in store, and people are still learning about us, and so every time we think we've really captured the market, we're learning and reminded that there's still more people who don't know we exist. And so continuing to get our name out there, continuing to differentiate ourselves in the market and letting people know that we exist is kind of where we are right now.
Yeah. And last but certainly not least, what advice would you offer to the next generation of inventors?
To believe in your idea. People tell me not to say this, but I am truly, truly an introverted person who does not have, who does not like attention, and who's historically shied away from talking to people. And, like I said, I'm an ideas person, and, I've often not acted on ideas because I'm like, I'd have to put myself out there. I have to, do certain things that I was uncomfortable with.
Yeah.
And so I want to encourage people to do it scared.
Yeah.
Take it from me to be willing to step outside your comfort zone. Trust in your idea. Don't downplay your idea. And be willing to invest in it. My first hurdle was pushing myself out there. I was blessed to have 2 wonderful friends who've been cheerleaders. That the friend who I was initially making the doll for, and another one of our friends that we met through. They forced me to do this.
Yeah.
And just really have talked me through this. And, when I initially made the first doll just as a gift, put it on social media and kind of forced me to start this. And after that, I just went ahead and decided to invest. I protected my idea through trademarking, and then also invested money to start with the resources. And that was the thing, too, because, and like I said, initially, it wasn't the doll that you see today, the dolls that you see today. It was definitely a more raw, unpolished version. and it wasn't what I wanted it to be. And normally I would say, well, I'm not going to do it because it's not perfect, right? But I allowed myself to put out what I could at the time instead of waiting 5-10 years until I could get, the perfect version out there. And, and so that was tough for me too, because people were loving it because it was still something that hadn't been done, but it wasn't, I knew it wasn't what I knew it could be. But I said, I'm not going to let great get in the way of good. And, so I'm sorry, I'm rambling a bit.
No. That is dead on what we need. I need you. Keep on, Brooke. You got it.
Gotcha. Okay, sorry.
No, don't apologize.
Pushing. So I would say, do it scared. Which the old folks, like my mother would say, the new version is do it scared, right, or stepping out your comfort zone. The old. What my mom would say would be rise to the occasion, right? So that was one hurdle the first hurdle I had to get over to, and start investing in my own resources to get this off the ground. And I'm a person that's pretty risk averse. So I would never, bet everything on an idea. I'm a type of person that start small, let it build from there. I'm a person, I believe in taking advantage of opportunities, but also, taking care of responsibilities at the same time, making that work. I was blessed to be in a position where I did have some funds I could invest and, a wonderful supportive partner to help with that. So, and then also just protecting, legally protecting your idea as much as you can.
Yeah, that's definitely the best advice that I've heard all week. Protect your idea. Protect your idea, because it's a big world. And, just like, Cat Williams was just talking about people stealing jokes, so you gotta protect. You gotta protect your ideas. Brooke, thank you so much for coming through today. We certainly appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. It's so nice to get to know your story and learn more about you. And I definitely appreciate this opportunity. So
and
thank you.
I would absolutely love for you to come back in the coming months. I know there are going to be new things and announcements going on. I would love for you to announce it on my show. I would certainly love
let's definitely keep in touch.
Definitely. And let everyone know the best way to get more information, where they can get the dolls, and all that good stuff.
So our central form of communication is our Instagram page, HBCYOU DOLLS, HBCU Dolls. There we have a link tree on there that'll show all the different retailers where we're sold. But since we sell exclusively through stores right now, we don't have a very active website. But we do put all of our news and kind of announcements and things on our Instagram page. We're on Facebook under the same name, but Instagram is kind of our main form of communication.
Okay. Sounds like a bet. Much more success to you and your whole team, Brooke.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for your love and support. Keeping in mind, anyone to tell you that you can't do what you want to do, you look them square in the face, you tell them, don't believe me. Just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history. That's what we're doing this for, the history books. Social media is nice, but real life is so much better. Until next time, you guys.